Now the world is internet driven. So you really have to make, I think, a social media presence. You have to reach out to websites that do reviews. I'm not a novelist, so I really don't know how you get the word spread on places like Goodreads, but there must be ways. But you need to look for that. You need to have your own website. You need to have your own Twitter and social media accounts where you interact with people. It's unfortunate that you can't be J.D. Salinger and hole up in your house and just send the stuff off to New York and have it be dealt with. Unfortunately, even the big publishers don't really market you anymore unless you're already a huge name. You have to do the work yourself. And what a lot of authors have found, and I have a lot of friends who are novelists or graphic novel creators, and they've discovered that they're spending at least as much time marketing themselves and their books as they are creating those books. And you just have to be out there. Even if you're an introvert and hate the interacting, you have to do it. And maybe you can find someone to help you, a husband, a wife, a friend, or you can hire people to help you with it. There are a lot of agencies that do that. You need to look around and find out who are reputable, what the right prices are, and that kind of thing, because there are people who will take your money and not do anything for you. But you have to put yourself out there. You really have to go out. You have to find the places. If you're doing, some of the things we did with movies, even back in the 70s and 80s, still apply. I worked on the movie Excalibur for Warner Brothers as a consultant. In it, there's the wedding between Arthur and Guinevere. I went to Bride magazine, which is still around. Back then, it was a huge magazine. And I got them to run a pictorial on the wedding of Arthur and Guinevere from that movie, thereby broadening the reach of who was seeing the advertising, because the movie was being advertised as sort of a men's adventure kind of thing aimed at like college and up audiences, wasn't aimed at women. So by targeting Bride magazine, it was a whole new group of people. And because it gave it a romantic feel, we didn't want to turn off that college guys kind of thing and say, oh, I don't want to go to a chick flick. But they're never going to see Bride magazine, because Bride magazine was read by women who wanted to be brides, women who were about to be brides, mothers of brides, grandmothers of brides, that sort of thing, because that was their audience. So we were able to broaden it that way. But you could go out to Targets for More American Graffiti, which had a lot of hot rodding. I made arrangements with the National Hot Rod Association to get coverage of the movie in their. They did back then like a tabloid newspaper style publication that they gave out to the hundreds of thousands of people who went to National Hot Rod events, and they covered the movie in it. And so we were, going out to places that might be. So if you write a novel about that includes aviation as a major factor, amateur airplane builders or experimental airplane builders or something, you can go to those websites and web groups and Facebook pages and say, hey, I'm doing this. And you can reach out to those various groups to market yourself and your book. And, you could also use them for research when you're writing the book to make sure you get everything right. It's just figure out who is my audience, who is going to be interested in it. And not only the main part of the audience, but the side audience. The book isn't about building airplanes, but it's got people who are work in the aviation industry. Okay, so maybe aviation fans will be interested in the book. Let me market it to them as well. Go and do outreach to everyone you can think of.